When the first NRG team, before I joined, was playing, I think they weren't very good.
There was a time when we were cradled one-on-one, and now I find that all creation is undone.
Blind players there, they're smoked out, the bomb's down, he won't get the second, but the damage has been inflicted. They have to commit to this, got no more utility to fall back. Oh, maybe not. Surge has one, maybe not. Hank? Check with the verdict. It's out on this one. Touchdown's coming in. Yeah, that's going to pretty much do it. And it is done. Optic are into the finals. The playoffs, I should say. Not the finals, but into the arena. NRG bow out here. Just so NRG looks demoralized.
That kind of mindset for other people kind of stuck with the team even when I joined. I had no expectations of outside the game how the team would be. I've never played with any of the players before.
What can I say? We are the business today. Fuck it is finished today. R&J, we the new PB&J. We dropped the classes today. We got a tablet of asses today. The joints with the matches and ashes away. We dash away. Dollar and Dixon, the pistol is blasting away. Justice of death, killing our patience of breath. We are the pain you can trust. Fucking it work. Hooking up curses and slurs. Smoking my brain in a mush. Being famous for blaming you fuck. Naming my way through the brush. There was no training or taming of me and my bruh. Live like a man, but I'm animal raw. We are the murderers there. That was the killer. We murdered the murderers there.
A lot of people actually thought that this roster could do damage because, if you look at our names, Ethan, Cirque, and I, and even Daps, and even Fugly, we're all pretty good names and a lot of talent on our team. So I think people's initial thoughts were that we could be a really good roster.
Ever since our team came together in January, I think we sort of exceeded everyone's expectations of what they thought this roster could do in such a short amount of time.
People probably thought it was just a young team with two veterans who would help mold them and stuff. I guess the progression has been faster than people expected.
In terms of how everyone handles each other in and out of game, it's probably the best I've had on any team I've ever been on.
It was definitely a pleasant surprise that we all got together really well. And then we were also all in the house for a while, so I was definitely kind of that became my second family at that point.
There's no inter-team turmoil, no one hates each other, at least from what I know. And yeah, it's just sort of a friendly atmosphere. We got good players that are young, talented, and generally listen to everything Chet and I say.
I think our team definitely has a mixture of everything, from the veteran players to the newer players, for me, Cirque, and Vince.
The biggest difference between this roster and past rosters is individual skill. It's a lot higher on this team compared to my other ones.
We have enough firepower to where even if just a couple people are on point, I think we can just beat anybody.
Cirque is a pretty good opper. You don't really have that many good oppers in North America. As for Ethan, he's a good consistent rifler, and he has big rounds from time to time that should help change the pace of the game.
I put Breezy as the fragger. He's just really good at killing people. Me and Fugly are the most experienced players on the team, so he sort of brings that side of the game.
Daps is I guess the most vocal because he's the IGL.
And I think just overall getting our coach as well helped in terms of motivation and also sort of keeping people accountable. It's natural for people to get complacent over time if you're comfortable around the people you're around. So I think that sort of helped everyone get a little boost, especially myself.
I can describe my teammates, starting with our coach Chet. They're definitely quiet, very helpful.
Cirque's the clown of the team, and Daps is the more serious guy.
Breezy's very sort of mature for his age.
Vince and Cirque are pretty alike. I think they're kind of just like really passionate about the game, and they're also very quiet. Jacob, also quiet. Early in the year, starting like as a kind of wild card team, no one knew what we were capable of. We started out really well with the first 2 online seasons. We got first seed in both, or maybe second seed in EPL.
Obviously, we did really well online. We didn't lose a match for like a month and a half.
But after we got both the online season W's and like came first seed, people definitely switched over to like we're onliners. Going to a couple of lands definitely helps. We needed to attend events just to kind of rise up in the ranks in HLTV. It kind of like showed that we could compete in the top 10, so that got us to a lot of tournaments.
If we start with our first event, which was Sydney, it was important for us to realize that like we weren't just online and we were able to like actually put numbers up versus a good team. And then we beat Booth there.
Cirque, everyone talks about it. Here we go. Oh, what is that shot?
Oh,
That's
God,
got
no.
3. Surely there's no way.
And then lost to G2, which we shouldn't have lost in my opinion, because we made a lot of mistakes.
It wasn't a very good showing, despite our online season.
Next land was Dallas, Pro League. We placed the same, just like 9 to 12. But we beat MVP and then lost to No Sports. And one of the maps was pretty close. So like not as good as the Sydney result in terms of like performance, but it still shows that like we could get some rounds versus a good team.
Going into this year with the roster, we had a rough start at LANs. We were expected to do well because we had such a really good online season. We had a rough 2 LANs, I think it was Sydney and Pro League. I think our first real taste of success was at Starladder, the LAN after Pro League.
Greatest accomplishment of the year, Starladder Season 5 Finals.
That was my first like high placing in a tournament, so I think everyone played the best they could, or close to that at that tournament. That's why we made it so far.
We were down 0-2 in the group stage and we made a comeback and we beat good teams in BO3.
We beat Liquid and North in playoffs, and I think before we made playoffs, we beat Renegades, Hellraisers. That was important land because we won 5 best of 3s in a row, being down 0-2 and made the final.
Here with the AK. There's Quote's giving up his position, and Breeze is going to find it. The retake is on, and he's going to get another one.
It's on the other side. I missed it. Oh my god, Breeze is going to take him down for the quad kill. Unbelievable scenes here.
We didn't do so well against the Navi in the finals, but still it was like a pretty good LAN to reach second at.
That's the first final like I think all 5 of us have ever played at like a big LAN like that. And then we went to ECS. We placed top 4 again. We beat FaZe G2 to make playoffs and lost to Liquid in semis, I guess. While that's not the best result on paper, it's still important for a team like ours to make it at a group's 2 events back to back, because that's something that a lot of teams struggle with.
Obviously the biggest disappointment of the year is not making the major when we were favorites. We went to Shanghai, we won Shanghai, which kind of redeemed ourselves a little bit.
The Summit win and then the Shanghai win especially were kind of like the only tournaments I've ever won.
Shanghai was important, even though it wasn't like a stacked event in terms of quality of team. It's important to just like get a win regardless, especially a 250K event.
We really gained confidence going into lands like Shanghai and even Summit.
Summit was a very chill LAN. It was a very chill environment, but there was a lot of good teams there. I think we were the highest rated team there anyway, but there was a lot of good teams that could upset. I feel like I've always been like a very consistent player. There's times where like I kind of do drop off, but I think I always am pretty consistent. It's just that sometimes I can reach another level, and I think if I can stay at that level, then I'll just get big numbers. I think I just played really well in that environment of just like being in the house, just like not too much pressure. I think it showed with my performance. And to receive the MVP, it's just a good feeling to perform so well and then get rewarded.
After those wins, all the online games were just like really confident, and we just knew that we were a top 10 team now.
And then New York kind of showed that we were still able to compete, became top 4 in New York.
Isn't perfectly for main, but it's good enough as the kills are coming in, and they are coming in thick and fast. What a play coming out in the end.
We went to Starladder again. We got top 4.
He's snuck by Cirque, who's going to fall at the hands of Al. There is just Breezy left alive, but he was the star for NRG just yesterday. He's going to try and do it again, and Breezy is just feeling fantastic right now.
Top 4 there is decent, but we should have made the finals at least, considering the teams there. We choked versus Vega.
Later on in the year, we were just really busy throughout the whole entire year, just going to LANs, having online matches. So I think our performance kind of decreased during the end to middle area. But I think right now I'm pretty content with where we are.
We're sort of in that phase of our team where we're trying to figure out, how do we even stay in the top 10? How do we break into the top 5 after that?
We need to kind of step back from accepting every single invite and focus on our own game. Because all these tournaments, we can't practice during all the tournaments, especially online games. We played like 6 games a day for like 2 weeks straight. So like, there's no practice time in those days. Since I joined the team, we've been on an upward trajectory so far. So I think as long as we keep that kind of trend going, I think everyone on the team's pretty happy with it.
We did better this year than anyone probably would have predicted.
We got 2 wins, we made the final as well. We got into groups at most events this year. Regardless of the last 2 results of the year, I think this year was a success. I think it's sort of a good thing that we did have that success so early on, so that we could sort of try and find more of a consistent style in a way where we can have these results long term. On paper, I think people put us as like a top 15 team, maybe like top 20, top 15. So I mean, we definitely have exceeded initial expectations. I say everyone on this team should be happy with how the year went, even though there's been like a few bad results that you want to like forget. But I think overall, I think everyone did better than we thought we would, being like the first year together with this 5. Being the #1 team in NA doesn't matter to us. Even being #2 team in NA, #3 team in NA, our ranking in North America has no effect on us. It's mainly just about where we are ranked in the world. Being top 10 was always a goal of mine and a goal of all of my teammates, and we achieved that this year.
the next step is sort of like, how do we break into the next level?
You know, getting to the top 10 is one thing. Getting into the top 5 is a million times harder.
He does get back into A main. Breeze peeking in, sees 2 bodies, dropping them both, pushing it all on Yuri. 23 and 17, the man with the bad manners versus KNG yesterday. Hides in the boxes, just sliver of what he was. 16-12 the final score. NRG Esports, they failed at the previous minor, but now they get their tickets. Katowice 2019.